Let's talk Giants football. What in the actual baby Jesus was that? And who do I blame as a Giants fan?
You blame the entire roster because it was basically flatlining all across the board. And, Geno Smith and the Seattle Seahawks came in. They took it to your team. You take a look at the statistics. I've never seen anything like this. They have given up more points. They score less points. And they actually have not gotten one turnover from an opposing team in 4 games. I've never seen that. I mean, they are a -8. They have turned the ball over 8 times, and they haven't forced a turnover. And there you have it. The statistics tell you all you need to know.
But go deeper than that. Hold on. So schematically, what am I missing? Now, again, they've invested in the offensive line. They're not one of these teams that ignore it. The O-line, this is the bottom of the chili pot. And then you go to the defensive line. All the money. Leonard Williams and Thibodeau and Dexter, thank you. I'm apoplectic. Boomer, at the line of scrimmage, they are atrocious.
Right. So I know it's easy to blame the offensive line for everything, and there were a couple times where Daniel had no chance to get away from the pass rush, but there are at least 4 or 5 times where he just doesn't even read the defense. And 2 of those where he doesn't read the defense, one results in the pick 6. The other one results into a fumble and a short field for Seattle. That's 14 points right there that the offense has now given up. And that is usually the precursor to a wipeout or a blowout, which is exactly what the Giants have dealt with. They've had one half of football, and that was the second half against the Arizona Cardinals, where they actually looked like the team that we saw last year that went to the playoffs. Every other game, they have come out flat, they have gotten behind, and they don't have the offensive prowess to be able to come from behind, even though they did it against the Cardinals, sustainable over the year. So you talk about a team that is under extreme pressure. It's going to be them going down to Miami this week.
They're going to get killed in Miami. Then Buffalo's going to drop a bomb on them. So my question is this. I mean, I can't believe we're talking like that. I knew they'd regress. I thought they'd be a 7 or 8 win team. I just didn't think they could duplicate last year. Boomer, are we talking about selling as the deadline would approach? You're sitting at 1-5?
I got to believe that Joe Shane and Brian Daboll are sitting there going, we cannot believe what we're seeing from our $41 million quarterback. And to miss blitzes, to be inaccurate, to have a misread down by the goal line, those things are not why they're paying him what they're paying him. And I'm sorry, that's just the honest-to-God truth. And I know Giant fans don't like to hear it. They like to protect their quarterbacks. And you're a Giant fan, so I'm telling you probably what you already know.
I knew they had to do what they did. I wasn't happy about it, but you know what I know. If you have a quarterback and you won a playoff game and he resurrected his career, they couldn't just go, well, let him walk. I love all these hot takes of, that contract age. Well, what were they supposed to do? Name a team that lets their quarterback walk.
In that situation, nobody. But here are the their opportunities were maybe Baker Mayfield, maybe Derek Carr, or sign Daniel Jones.
This offensive line, they'd be in the same spot.
Right, I'm sure they would be, but they decided to sign Daniel Jones for that amount of money. That was the thing that was shocking. So if you are a quarterback and you are making that amount of money, you have to basically play up and camouflage where all the shortcomings may be. And quite frankly, I don't know about Darren Waller. I don't know what's going on with him.
They don't even target him.
Well, hopefully this week they will. And by the way, this week is a huge week because they're playing against a Miami defense that is not that great. You know that, and I know that.
Yes.
One of the reasons Miami is as good as it is because of the offense, and when it gets going, it's almost impossible to stop it. And that's why Wink Martindale has been saying this week that he's having trouble sleeping. I don't blame him.
Yeah, let me tell you, I have trouble sleeping watching your blitz packages that don't come home. Seriously, you can't let him off the hook either.
Could you imagine these young defensive backs against these wide receivers? The matchup just screams blowout. It just does. Sorry about that.
No, don't be sorry. Oh, by the way, Shout out Evan Neal. You've just ended your career. I thought I saw the worst Giants offensive lineman in my life in Eric Flowers. I have news for you. You ready for this?
Yes.
Scones, you're going to love this. Eric Flowers is a Hall of Famer analytically compared to Evan Neal. Evan Neal is so much worse than Eric Flowers by every analytic measure of offensive lineman. Now you go out this week and you got the unmitigated balls to insult the fans who pay you? Oh, baby. That's going to – hold on. Let's go to Boomer for how that played this week in New York.
Did not play great, but he did apologize twice.
Too late.
And I will give it to him. He's a 22-year-old kid. He knows not what he says, and he hasn't been here the last 7 years. He's only been here for 2 years, and one of those years they went to the playoffs. So I understand the frustration, and who knows what New Yorkers are yelling at him. So I appreciate you standing up for the fans and everything else, but I think he's learned a valuable lesson just to button it up and go play better.
Yeah, here's an idea. Be a replacement level tackle. Let's just shoot for that. Awful.